Hi, my name is Leah Marsh, and as a third-year Blue Hen, I am a World Scholar, a 4+1 student, and also very pleased to be a Summer Scholar. I am studying fashion merchandising and management with a focus in sustainability here at the University of Delaware. Now, my article will soon be published in Just Style, an online fashion publication, so if you would like to further check out my research, you can do so there. Now, my study is going to be about clothing, but not new clothing, clothing made from recycled materials. So Calvin Klein is a well-known, reputable brand, and recently I discovered that they are beginning to sell clothing made from recycled materials. But this is not just happening within the US market. So recently, I actually just came back from studying abroad in Italy, and when I would go shopping in my free time, I noticed more and more that fashion brand companies are beginning to sell clothing made from recycled materials. Now, we cannot just assume that these clothes are always cheap because in some cases, like with this Prada recycled polyester puffer jacket, these products can actually be rather expensive. I believe that this coat is going for roughly 2,000 euros. So this is just a friendly reminder that this market is continuously growing and in many shapes and forms. So ultimately, this inspired me to do my research. Generation Z is very inspired by sustainability, and what better way to contribute to sustainability than addressing these textile wastes and recycling them? So, we already know a good amount about the recycled clothing market. We know about recycling techniques, and we know about consumers' purchasing behaviors within the market. But there's one perspective that's missing: the retailers. We would like to know how retailers think about this market, how how they sell this specialized product, and also what products are actually available within this market. And these many questions are what led to the black box that led me to do my research. So, I specifically looked at the EU, the recycled clothing market within the EU, because as we know, the EU is one of the largest apparel consuming markets in the world. And I was able to look at 5 countries in specific, and these are the UK, Italy, Germany, France, and Spain. Due to the fact that these 5 countries account for 60% of apparel retail sales in the EU. And overall, I really hoped to understand the retailer's perspective. So I wanted to know what products they actually sell and how they decide the product assortment and pricing strategy for these products made from recycled materials. Now, I believe that this study is significant due to 2 reasons. One, I believe that this study can truly help to fill the research gap, and it will enhance our understanding of the business of recycled clothing. Second, I believe that these findings can also be very valuable to the industry. This can have high application value for brands and retailers interested in the recycled clothing business. So, due to an interest of time, I unfortunately had to skip the literature review aspect of the project and focus mainly on the method. So we were able to leverage a big data tool and analyze millions of clothing released to the EU market from April 2018 to 2018. Sorry. um, from 2018 to April of 2022. Now, we wanted to look at a relatively long period of time, but also some more recent and updated data. Now, we specifically compared 2 types of products. One is the so-called recycled clothing, and the other is regular new clothing. Now, recycled clothing is defined here as clothing whose product description explicitly mentions the use of recycled materials. And regular new clothing is defined as clothing whose product label or online description explicitly says it does not use recycled textile materials. So let's look at some of the findings. So first, data shows that the recycled clothing market is growing very quickly. Just look at the numbers here. So the recycled clothing market experienced roughly 150% compound annual growth whereas the regular new market only experienced 28% compound annual growth over the last couple of years. Now, this three-digit growth is why some studies believe that the recycled clothing market could exceed the regular new market by 2030. Second, retailers sell different kinds of recycled clothing products, and one aspect is the product categories. Here you can see that for many product categories, recycled clothing is missing, such as for tops and dresses. However, at the same time, we see recycled clothing are more likely to be seen in categories such as outerwear and swimwear. Now, this is very interesting and demonstrates that not all product categories are available for recycled clothing. One possible reason is the fiber. So there are specific kinds of recycled fibers that are typically available in the market, and our findings suggest that recycled polyester and recycled nylon are extremely prevalent. In comparison, less than 5% of recycled clothing has used 100% recycled cotton. Consequently, the fiber content affects the product categories available in the market. For example, have you ever preferred swimwear made of cotton over polyester? Or have you ever preferred a t-shirt made of polyester over cotton? I don't think so. Therefore, we see more outerwear and swimwear being produced with the abundance of recycled polyester rather than dresses and tops. Moreover, retailers also price recycled clothing differently than regular new clothing. In general, in the luxury and premium market, recycled clothing is typically priced lower. However, in the mass and value market, recycled clothing is typically priced higher. Now, this might sound kind of contradictory, but there are actually two factors that may affect pricing strategy. The production costs are higher, and consumers may not see the value in recycled clothing. So this explains how in the luxury and premium market, retailers must compensate lower value with lower price. And in the mass and value market, retailers must compensate higher production costs with higher prices. Now, this is definitely a preliminary study, but I believe that these findings are very interesting. The study confirms that the retailers offer different kinds of products in the recycled clothing market and price them differently than regular new clothing. However, at this point, we cannot live by only consuming clothing made from recycled material due to the fact that it still remains a niche market. And as you may be able to tell by now, I'm very passionate about this research area. So here are some of my future plans. I'm very interested in exploring whether companies can be profitable by carrying and selling clothing made from recycled materials, and also how we can truly help consumers see the benefits of shopping for recycled clothing. Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you.